Hi everyone, I'm Sifajan Sam, the Barefoot Doctor, and I'm coming to you now with another presentation. And this one is about how you can use my presentations. You can use all the information that I'm releasing onto the internet, and that I'll have my website up shortly. Now, as you can see, basically I'm doing workshops, seminars, and I have tutorials, books, video presentations. I have informational documents, I have PDF packages, products, podcasts, and I have so many things I'm going to be doing, live streaming, and I'll be doing it around the clock just for you, as I need to share with you the information and the knowledge that I have been so fortunate enough to have learned from so many masters and so many great teachers and healers and people all around the world. Now, I'm just going to explain to you what I'm going to be teaching, how you can utilize the knowledge that I'm giving to you, and that I'm basically also developing what I call a community, which is a foundation that I have developed in the Philippines, which runs as a charity, helping women and children, and that it's going to be a very great project of mine that I've been working on for many decades now. And basically what I teach in what I call the University of Life, or what I call the ancient trivium. Now, some people might know about it, you might not. You can always look it up on the internet, but it is the ancient way of teaching. And I follow a very long line of teachers. I've been searching for many, many decades of who I am and basically who I was. And I was very fortunate, because I'm going to give you a little inside story, that I was very fortunate as a young boy to have witnessed, or what I call had experienced, a deja vu. And it was a time when I had gone into a Chinese temple when I was a young boy at the age of about 16 years old. And I ended up in this temple with my godfather, where I basically passed out, and I visualized myself and I saw myself as a monk and as a healer. Now, this was all that happened way before I even traveled overseas. And when I saw that, I was awakened, and all of a sudden I said to my godfather, it was really strange. I was like in another place, and I felt like I was a monk and I was Chinese and I was here before. I'd been here before. It was so real, I could taste it. I could smell it, I can taste it, I can feel it. And straight away, he laughed at me and he said to me, geez, you must have been Chinese. And I said, I know I was Chinese. So this is what was my first experience in deja vu, or basically I call it recollecting my past life. And that's what set me on my journey as a young boy to find out who I was. And I've got many stories I could tell you, but I'll just start with that first one. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is what I'm gifted in is, I call it a basic special type of photographic memory, and I'm able to understand and to study things very, very quickly. That's why I'm able to do the martial arts. I know so many forms, so many weapons, so many levels, and I've had other teachers teach me continually because of my memory capacity. And when I was in a monastery, I was a keeper of the rules, so I would learn all the rules by heart, and I would actually chant it in Sanskrit. So I actually speak another languages, and I speak quite a few. Now, this is what I'm going to be introducing to you, and you can ask me so many comments and so many informations and things that you would like to know, to learn, and I'm happy to try to keep up with the people who are trying to find out whatever they need to help them. Now, the information I'm teaching is simple, and I keep it always simple because life is simple once you understand the basic laws of the universe, which is the law of cause and effect. It's as simple as that. So these are the topics that I'm going to be teaching. It's going to be in my workshops, it's in my tutorials, it's in my packages, it's in everything that I do. I will not show you or not teach you anything that I don't really understand, or I haven't experienced, or I don't know anything about. And I'll tell you the truth, I don't know everything, and I really don't understand everything. But what I do understand is about health, about longevity, about how to be happy, and definitely how to find your purpose. So I'm just trying to share this with you, and I'm very happy to answer all your questions and answers, and I'll do it in the best way and the fastest way possible. So the first thing I'd like to ask, and I'd like to show you, is if there's any of these topics that you see that interests you, I'm happy to talk about them. And I would do that in these kind of presentations. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is I basically look at it as a science. So it's easier for you to understand. And the science, I call it, is to do with health and anatomy, which is a medical side of the science. The other one is the technology and chemistry, which is the chemistry that everyone understands, also the natural world chemistry. And the technology, which is what we have a lot of now, especially with computers and especially with all the cell phones and all the things that we're going through now. And then, of course, we've got nature and the natural world, which is surrounding us. That's our environment. Very important. Then, of course, I talk about the science of healing arts. Now, there are so many healing arts, and I've got so many of my friends and clients and people have always asked me, says, what's the best art, or what is the best healing art that I can do or I can practice? And that depends on you. There is crystals, there's Reiki, there's massage, there's acupuncture, there's herbal medicine. There is so many different arts of healing. I tell it, go to what resonates with your energy. Go to what you feel is what is you. You will know that in your heart because you'll have a passion for it. And then the last one is one of my ones that I've spent more than 30 years on, and that is medicine, the holistic medicine and the allopathic, which I've been looking at both sides. I don't judge it until I study it, both sides. And I already have made a great balance with both. Now, the next thing I teach is cooking, nutritional cooking, or what I call nutritional science or nutritional eating. And the other topic I love teaching is the philosophy of life, motivation. I'm always been known as a great lifestyle coach and a motivator. And that's one thing I can do with you, is that if you call on me, I will come to you. And if you live in a country like Australia, or you live in a country like Philippines or Hong Kong, or wherever I travel or wherever I do my seminars, I'll come to you and I will show you how I can heal or teach or show you how you can better yourself. The next one I like is, of course, it's been my favorite since I was a little boy, is the martial arts, self-defense. I've been doing it since I was 6 or 7 years old. I was so young I couldn't remember it, but my mother was so amazed when she came home one day. I was only 12 years old. I was learning Taekwondo at the time. And, I got my degree in Taekwondo and also in karate. And I was teaching at the age of 12. I was the youngest instructor at the age of 12 here in Australia, in Melbourne, teaching. I don't think I was teaching with a certificate, because those days they didn't have all these things, This was in the early 70s. And, this is when I was right into Bruce Lee, and I was really, really into the martial arts. Then, of course, I'm now very deeply enthralled into the meditation, as I learned that through the monastery and through my monastic training as a monk. And, of course, I teach a very special form of what I'll be introducing to you is Akyu-time Wunshi Yoga. It is my special form of a yin and yang, male and female. Doesn't matter if you want a yang-yang or yin-yin. I don't care. You can have female and female and male. But it's a yin and yang yoga energy transferal that two people do together, the 64 movements. And I'll be introducing you to that. This is my unique style of yoga that is done in the monasteries by monks and by very awakened people. The last few topics, and then I'll get into the other topics, which are more to do with the community that I'm creating and the foundation that I've established in the Philippines, is, of course, we've still got the traditional Chinese medicine, which is the natural medicine. we've got the holistic medicine, which is to do with essential oils. It's to do with all other types of Western type of holistic and natural medicines. And then we've got nutrition or diets. Now, I tend to tell everyone, I'm not introducing no diet to anyone. Why? Is because if diets really work, why is it that we have 10,000 different types of diets and no one seems to even figure out why they don't seem to work, or why some work for others and why some don't? And I tell people it's very complicated, and I'll get more into that when I talk about fasting and when I talk about not so much diets, I call it food eating habits. Now, I always tell everyone that you should always look at yourself not as a diet, but as a food eating habit, depending on your culture, depending on your blood type, and depending on your genetics, your DNA. These are very important factors that no one ever talks about very much. And now I'm going to get to the next part of my whole entire, what I call the community, the trivium, the program that I put into it. Because if you really want to awaken, you don't have to go into a monastery and become a monk. You don't have to go into the mountains and stay in a cave. You can do it within your community, your tribe. And this is what everyone is searching for. What is my tribe? Where's my group of people that I really resonate with? And that is what I'm trying to create. I have created a lot of people who will be joining me in my foundation and on the place that I am creating, which is a wonderful, wonderful place. And I've developed these basic categories, and of course they're going to expand as it grows and as I continue to get more and more teachers and more people into the foundation. And that is, I'm going to be teaching carpentry. I've done a lot of carpentry in my days. I used to do carpentry when I was a kid, and I used to do carpentry when I traveled. I love doing carpentry, and I still do it. And agriculture, which is the growing of food. I tell everyone that we as living sentient beings, or earthlings, we were developed to become growers, healers, leaders, and we are meant to become spiritual light beings. So this is a very important part you have to understand about yourself. Now, then the last part, I'm saying not the last part, there's plenty more, but the animal husbandry, so many people love this. My kids love it. I have a lot of children all over the world, and my children in the Philippines love this one, which is animal husbandry, which is, chickens, ducks, pigs, cows, goats. Yeah, they love doing that. So I let them have a great time. They got doves. They're like birds. So I let them go wild in nature. It's very important that you do that for your children. And of course, I love managing leaders and administration. This is a very important part that I love to find people who would love to manage or lead or to promote a certain section of a foundation that I'm trying to run, because I can't do everything myself as I'm only one person. Then I've got teaching and healing, which of course I'm looking for healers, because I will be teaching everything from the acupuncture, herbal medicine, from the massage, from the Tai Chi to the martial arts. I'll be looking for teachers who want to teach. I don't discriminate of what art you do. I don't discriminate of what you teach. What I'm looking for is whether you have the heart and your purpose and you're ready to give, to help me to create a wonderful foundation for helping women and children. Now, the other part is the electrical engineering. I like doing electrical. I'm a little bit of a electrical, technician. I like fixing and putting together computers, and I used to do that since I was a little kid with TVs and everything, with the old tubes, glass tubes. My mother used to say I was crazy when I was a little boy. I was always wanting a telescope, a microscope. I was telling my mother, "Mum, why is it I want to learn all these things?" And my mum says, "I don't know where you come from, because I've never seen a 5-year-old always wanting to learn and to pull things apart." Okay? So, this is how you know who you are. This is how you know your purpose. And then, of course, we're going into construction, because we're going to be building some amazing biogestic domes. We're going to be building an amazing place that is fully self-sufficient. We will not need to worry about water or power, and we will not need to worry about food, as we will have our own food, water, and power. I liken it to what I call the Shambhala or the Shangri-La, where there is no time, there is no work, there is no money, there is just giving, teaching, learning, and everyone is at peace. And I always believe that what you dream of can become reality. You only have to set your mind to it and don't stop until you succeed. And that is my goal. That's why it's taken me so long to come out and to finally tell people that I'm in the process of not just evolving, but creating this most amazing place for teachers, for leaders, for people as a sanctuary. And then we've got the art, painting, sculpting. I love art, painting, and sculpting. I'm not a good artist, but I do like painting. And then we've got musical instruments. The one instrument that I love most is the hang drum. And you've seen them, they're like domes, and you tap them, and it uses your own energy and vibration, and the sound and the energy just vibrates through my whole body, and it works on such beautiful vibration that I love it. I've actually have been given one as a donation, and I'm dying to start practicing how to learn how to use it. And I'll be looking for someone who is very good at using that, who can teach children how to play these instruments. I'm looking for someone who can do that, and I'll be very happy to hear from them. And then, of course, there is much, much more. I cannot emphasize how big and how complex everything that I'm doing, but it is up to you. It's a foundation that I've created. You can look it up. It'll come up on my website. And then, of course, you'll be able to contact me through, at the moment, you can contact me through Facebook. You can contact me through the internet through my email is ykmsifu@gmail.com. And later on, I'll give you more details of how you can contact me. You can also contact me through Messenger, through Twitter, and you can also contact me through Instagram. I also will have STEMit, I will have Patreon, I'll have so many things coming on. It's just that it's not easy for one person to do everything. I have a lot to share with you, and I have so much to give you. So I hope you enjoy this presentation and what I'm going to be explaining, and for letting you to learn how to use all this information I'm going to give you. And, as I said, like Bruce Lee used to say, take what is useful for you. Whatever's not useful, throw it away. It doesn't mean anything. So, again, I thank you for watching and spending your time with me, and I hope to hear from you soon. Namaste.